I found these underneath my house yesterday, and of course, they were rusted and all, but I think they're going to be okay. Let me get them over here and get my brush out and scrub them up and see what this looks like. As a matter of fact, I'm not going to throw that away because I may be able to clean these handles up with some of that vinegar too. I can't see a name yet. I don't have my glasses on, but I cleaned up pretty good. They opened and closed. They weren't doing that yesterday. And I used some of that vinegar and scrubbed the handles a little. I'm going to go put these on my wire wheel. And after that, put my glasses on to see if I can find a name on these. And then oil them up. I see no name on them. So apparently they're just Chinese junk. But you know, I'm gonna put a little oil on them and throw them in the box. You never know when you might need a spare pair of these. I mean, I got some good ones. I got Knipex and Irwins and Craftsman. I mean, I got all kinds of these, but they're free. And it took 20 seconds to get the rust off of them and another couple of seconds to oil them up and have a pair laying around if I ever need them. All right. Yesterday, late afternoon, I come out here and got the wax paper off. Got these all cleaned up. And I got the one who's finished I got to protect. Jay's taped up. Now I'm going to start shaping handles. This has got to be much thinner than that. So I'm gonna try to get it to where the pink shows more than the black. And this is looking nice. That's the Purple Heart. And this is, it's dyed red. It's maple burl, stabilized. So I think when it's all done and over with and I get it to the polishing point, that it will have a red tint to it. All right, let me get to, first thing I'm gonna do is get my router set up. And since this has, I did not know it, but part of this is G10. The black is G10, the pink is wood. I think, I'm not certain, but it's very hard and it smells like G10. I'm going to put my old router bit back in there and do this one, and then put the new router bits in and do these. Okay, we got them started. That's going to look nice. And Don Watson has been having trouble getting the scratches out of his pins. These are stainless, but these are brass. You're doing the same way, but I'm going to show you how I get all the scratches out of the pins. And he's assuming, and I think wrongly, that the brass pins are bleeding into the wood. And my suspicion is that he's using way too much compound on the wheels, and it's the compound, because I've not experienced that problem with the brass bleeding. And, you know, I don't think brass can bleed. But I think what he's experiencing is either one of two things, or maybe both. I think he may be using too much compound when he polishes the brass, or he may be polishing non-brass on non-stabilized wood. And the wood around it will definitely absorb the polishing compound. So darker woods, you don't really notice it, but on lighter woods, you definitely see the staining around the pin from trying to buff out the scratches on the compound. But buff out the scratches on the brass with the compound. And the way I do it is I sand these brass pins, I sand them up to 1,000, And you don't, there's no scratches. You just zing zing, hit them with a buffer, and they're shiny, shiny, you know, like mirrors. So there's Jay's basic, you know, I got to, the rest of the day I'll be hand sanding these. And there's Towers. There is Donald's. Good Lord, what is Donald's secret code name? I actually think he uses his name, Donald Duncan. So there's the purple heart that gets the leather sheath. There's the pink that gets Kydex. And I was going to thin these down, but by the time I get to the next layer of pink, I'm afraid that they may be too skinny. So I'm not sure what I'm going to do. I'm not sure if I want to go 2 more layers. See, to get to the next level of pink, I'll have to go 2 layers. This outer level, and then the black, and then back to the pink. And now that I look at it, I'll tell you, I might just go ahead and do that. Yeah. I'm going to leave that for a little while and think about it. I think I'm going to get started on this first. It's the biggest and the baddest. Okay, I told Don that I would specifically show how I sand the scratches out of my pins. And let me turn this off because for some reason it's easier for you to see. Okay, you see the way these... Let me see if I can get this in just the... Okay, here we go. You see the way the scratches go this way? And that's from the initial belt sanding. There we go. I'm going to show you how I sand these scratches out of here. And I'll put you on a tripod. Be right back. All right, give me just a second. Okay, this is my wood sandpaper. And what I do is I have a backer board here, and I take the thin edge and I fold it like this, and then I sand in this direction on all 3 of these pins. I'm gonna have to turn the light on so I can see this, so I can see when I've got the scratches sanded out. And occasionally I have to put my magnifying glass down there because I don't see as well as I used to, number 1. Number 2, I was underneath my house yesterday, and I lost my glasses underneath. They fell out of my pocket, so I've got these cheap Walmart glasses. You know, I got a bunch. That's the ones I lost were cheap Walmart glasses, but these aren't strong enough, the ones my backups. I still got some scratches on this one. And the scratches and the pins are a combination of my bandsaw, marks from my bandsaw, and sanding on the belt grinder, the first initial sanding. And once you get the once you hit this the first time with 180, and then you just, as you progress, you do this with the next grit and the next grit, and next thing you know, they're looking like a mirror by the time you get it to 1,000. And if you didn't want to buff it, you wouldn't have to. Okay. Okay, I'm going to shut this off, and I'll take you off the tripod and let you have another look at this. You see the way that my sanding lines go? I have sanded all the grind lines out of the pin. And just for reference, that's what it looked like. And this is what it looks like now. All right, now I've got this sanded up to 180 on both sides. Now I'm going up to 220 and go all the way around it in here on the back, both sides, the back, the butt. And I do the pins the same way. And first I sand the handle all the way around and then I come back. It doesn't take a lot, so I basically save the sandpaper that's too wore out to sand the wood. When I put it on its edge like this, there's enough grit left to sand out the previous grit's scratches. So I do that all the way up to 1000. And on stabilized wood, I put it on a buffer. On non-stabilized wood, you sand it up to 1000 and it looks like a mirror already, so there's really no need to buff it. On non-stabilized wood, I do put True Oil on it, but I'm thinking of trying something. I've seen the finishes. I haven't tried it yet, and I bought it just because I want to try it, and that is CA finish, cyanoacrylate finish. And I may try that on Jay's. I mean, I can't ruin it. If if it's no good, I'll just sand it off and do my True Oil finish. Or buff it. I haven't decided yet. So, there we go. So I'll do a few more grits on this. I'll get up to about 400, 500 and show you what it looks like. And then when I get up to 1000, I'll show you what these pins look like with no buffing. A friend of mine, Rob's Homemade Life, he did a video about ant poison, and it just so happens that yesterday I had to get up underneath my house, and I told him that, what a coincidence, since yesterday I had to get up underneath my house and kill ants. And the problem was I have a 2-foot wide body trying to crawl under a 1.5-foot tall house. And he said, well, you should have wore your skinny jeans. and I replied, well, I didn't think I need to since I ate a box of Thin Mints. I'm just sitting here thinking that when I choose people to be friends with, humor is a very large part of what attracts me to be friends with a person. Humor. I've enjoyed humor my entire life. Even when I was a child, I liked cracking jokes and hearing jokes and I don't know what other people's criteria is for deciding whether they want to be friends with someone, but one of mine is humor. I only like to hang out with people who get humor and can be funny. And it's just my thing. Non-humorous people are not fun to hang around. That's all there is to it. People who don't like to laugh are generally not enjoyable to be around. I mean, I'm sure there's someone for everyone, But anyway, I'm just sitting here thinking, it just happened just minutes ago, and I was thinking, see, this is why I'm friends with Rob. We have a very similar sense of humor, a little bit odd, and same with Salty Shellback. Him and I told him the other day that him and I were like humor twins. I mean, we think a lot alike as far as what's funny and stuff like that. And, I have a lot of friends through YouTube, and I got to thinking about, all my YouTube friends are funny, have a sense of humor and like to laugh. And it's just, a thing, I guess. I'm attracted to people that are like me, like to laugh and enjoy life. Anyway, that's it. I'm. This is 220. I'm fixing to move up to 220. This is Jay's. Boy, I tell you, that sure does look good with the silver pins, stainless. And this is the Purple Heart. And look, I here's what I did with this. I didn't thin the back, but I thinned the nose. You can tell it tapers off. And I kind of like I like that. I like that a lot. I am going to buy more of this. Maybe not pink, but actually, here, I'll show you this. And then I'm moving up to 220, but I think I have some more of that Dymolux somewhere. Let's see here. Yes, I do. It's called Ultrex, but it's very similar in what it looks like when it's finished. And I'm going to use that on something because I like it. I like the Dymolux. Very, very cool. And I like the fact that it comes in 3/8 thick pieces so you can shape it the way you want. That's going to be cool. All right, I'm starting with 220 here and going to work these up to 220 and then 320. And by the end of the day, I will have all of these ready for their sheaths tomorrow, Sunday. Well, you'll probably see this Monday. And Monday, we may be riding up to Broken Bow, Oklahoma. We were going to go to Broken Bow the other day, but we decided we wanted to ride over to Ben Wheeler because on the 23rd, they're having a citywide, celebration. Car show, bike rally, knife show. And really, I'm only going there for one reason, and that's to buy knife handle wood. There's a guy called TNT Enterprises, Wood Stabilizing Enterprises. Terry Dunn, I believe his name is. He's got a Facebook page, TNT Stabilizing Enterprises, something like that. And he'll be there. And I'm going to, bring as much money as I can possibly bring with me to buy wood, because he gets $25 a piece for wood, which is cheaper than anybody I have come across. And I've seen his wood. When I went to the Blade Bar, in case I haven't mentioned, I would like to drop a name. How many times in your life do you get to meet famous people? Well, he's not famous as far as, worldwide fame, but he has been on the Forged in Fire show. And he had a whole bunch of that TNT wood on a bench he had. And I said, boy, that's some good looking wood. He goes, yeah, that's Terry Dunn, TNT Enterprises. You should look him up if you want some good wood. He gets good prices, and that's all he does. And anyway, I'm rambling. All right, I'm going to drink me a caffeinated beverage. I haven't decided whether it's going to be coffee or a Mountain Dew. I'll think about it, and I'll get back to you. Little tiny bird. Look like a little, I don't know, chickadee, sparrow. I have no idea, but a little tiny bird. And 2 seconds ago, this is what I got the camera out for, was he landed right here on the rung of the step, right here. And I didn't move. And he looked at me, and I looked at him or her, and he looked at me, and then finally, Breezy turned his head a little bit, and she took off. That was kind of funny. Oh, yeah. Mountain Dew. Just sitting here going over my blessings, the things I should be thankful for. I'm a fat guy with decent health. All those years of smoking and drugging and drinking, and here I am in health I don't deserve. I mean, I got problems, but I should be far worse off than I am. And, the life. No sleep, high stress, beautiful blue sky. And there are people that would look at what I have and not understand why I'm so thankful. But what I have is mine, it's paid for. Uh, it may not be much by some other standards, but I am so thankful to have it. And it sure is peaceful here. I don't care much for the town, the government part of the town. And I got some real rogues for neighbors, but they don't bother me way down here. Occasionally I have to listen to their drunk parties and their loud music, but when you have people that live near you, you just have to accept their lifestyle to provide it isn't damaging to yours, and we're flexible. Just the other day they had a hen party out there, and they were all drunk and slurring and talking loud, and I won't mention who, because who knows, they may stumble across my videos. But anyway, I'm thankful, I'm blessed, I'm fortunate or lucky, whatever word you want to use. I'm glad to be where I am, doing what I'm doing, having what I have, and I don't need or want more. Ain't that right? We got it pretty good, don't we? All right, I'm going to drink my dew and get back to sanding. All right, I'm starting with 220. On the last set of pins, I was sanding diagonally like this. Now I'm going to sand back and forth like this with 220. And then 320 will go this way. And then 400 will go this way. And I use a backer board every single time, or you get divots in front of the pins. Okay, all these sand lines are going in this direction now. And those are going diagonally. I'm going to finish this side. All right, everything is sanded up to 1,000. Now I'm fixing to go put these lightly on the buffer. Let me turn the lights off. All right, I'm going to put these on the buffer, and I use green rouge and then pink scratchless. And I don't put a whole lot of compound on the green wheel. The pink, it really doesn't matter. But the green, it will load up, and it will stain the wood and all that if you put too much compound on. So I'm going to go buff this and these two up. This, I'm experimenting with my CA finish. So let me go buff these, and then I'm going to come back and finish this. Okay, Don. That's about as mirror-like as you can get. I suspect that what you think is the brass bleeding into the wood is the compound getting into the wood. And if that's the case, then what you're doing, probably, I'm just guessing here, is that you're trying to buff pins on non-stabilized wood, because non-stabilized wood will absorb the polishing compound. And it is not the brass bleeding, I promise you. It's the compound. It's the compound staining. All right, this is Towers. Tower, I see just the slightest hint of red back here. You mentioned red, and I specifically bought red dyed maple burl stabilized, but didn't come out red. Yeah, a little bit, there's like a hint of red in there. Okay, on to the other knives. All right, my very first cyano acrylate. Am I saying that right? Damn it. Keep forgetting this. Cyano acrylate. My very first cyano acrylate finish. Golly, I like it. Okay, Jay. Knife is done. Now, tomorrow I'll work on sheaths. I got 2 more knives to polish up. Alrighty. Okay, I like that finish so much. I'm thinking about doing that on the Purple Heart. The Purple Heart is not a stabilized wood, so it would really benefit from this CA finish. And yeah, I'm going to do that. That's next. I'll have that done today, and I'll have all 4 of these ready tomorrow to start making sheaths. This gets a Kydex sheath. I'll probably do that first thing. And golly, I really like that finish. Cyano acrylate, my first one. I watched a video yesterday, so I'm an expert now. Okay, I'm happy with all of them so far. And before I go home, I will have that Purple Heart with the CA finish on it, and I'll show you that. That'll be the last thing before I go home. All right, that is my second CA finish. I tell you what, that's the nicest I've ever got Purple Heart to look. Yeah, I like it. I'm going to use that more often. You know, Purple Heart is not a stabilized wood. And this is what it looks like before you start sanding and working it. And the fella that wants this knife, and the fella that I made the sheath for his big Bowie knife, gave me this wood, which is this here also. So I got enough of this Purple Heart left to do, I can do a Texas Rumble, 2 Texas Rumbles, and then I have this left, which would be Dinner Skinner on down. It's not big enough to do BC Special. Okay, I am tired. So tomorrow morning, first thing, I'm going to make a Kydex sheath and then get to working on these for leather. See you tomorrow.